What's up everyone, welcome back to Seiya Awakening. We're back for another character review, and this time we're gonna look at the second EX unit available in the game. He is Hades alone, and guys, I'll tell you right away, this is one of my favorite units since Thanatos came out many moons ago. This guy is amazing, and even though his mechanics are not really that complicated, the possibilities that he opens up are insane. We're gonna look at his abilities, Cosmo, teams, and also counters in case you're having trouble dealing with him. Let's start off with the basic, and Alone is going to be a Cosmo type attacker that can deal a massive amount of damage. How massive? Well, on the demonstration fight that you're going to see today, this was his Cosmo setup. I forgot I was sharing with Saga, and I went into the battle with more than half of my Cosmo missing. He still did amazing, alright? So let's go ahead, let's start off with his skills. But before we begin, Alone is one of these characters that's going to transform throughout the battle, so his skills change, and in his case, all of the skills change from the first to the fourth. I'm going to start then with the fourth skill, which is the one that allows him to transform to understand how that happens and how it affects all the other skills. This passive is called Bloodline, and it allows Alone to accumulate darkness. It's very similar to the psychokinesis that Mew can do. To Thanatos' Fury, this guy accumulates darkness. It's a completely new mechanic for him. Now, what is weird about him is that the rate of accumulation is a little bit random. He gets it every time that an ally moves, but the amount that he gets is not certain. In level 1, he can get between 1 and 2, then 1 to 3, and then finally on level 5, he can go from 4 to 6. This means that he's not always going to transform with the same number of moves. Sometimes it's going to take him a little bit longer, sometimes it's going to be faster. He needs 30 of these darkness points in order to transform fully into Hades. At that point, he's going to get a massive Cosmo attack buff. On level 5, it's 40% more Cosmo attack. He will also get another turn every time he eliminates an enemy, though it's limited to once per round because his big attack only costs 1 energy. So if you could just keep on killing enemies, it would just be completely broken. And the last function of this passive, once he's transformed, is that he's going to become invisible when his HP drops below a certain level. On skill level 1, if his HP is below 20%, he will not be able to be targeted by individual attackers. And on level 5, if it gets below 40%, then he becomes invisible. It's extremely strong, but that's it. So in human form, he just accumulates darkness, and then in Hades forms, he gets all these buffs and extra turns and invisibility. Let's look at all his skills then, and we're gonna right away look at it in human and Hades. In human form, Crush is a simple individual type attack, has no special effects, but when he's already become Hades, then it transforms into Might, and this thing is going to sacrifice a little bit of his HP to deal damage, but it's also going to apply this shared life mark. And again, this is a completely new mechanic exclusive to him, and what it does is that it places a mark on an enemy unit. When you place the same mark on another enemy, then those two units become linked. Anything that happens to one is going to happen to the other. This includes debuffs, it includes a lot of control effects, it also includes damage, so you could, in theory, have two units link, and then when one explodes with Thanatos' eye, the other one is going to get the same damage. It's insane, and it's what makes Alone so interesting. The best part of it is that it's not like Hades' contract where you can only do it once per battle. No, this thing you can have up to 5 times per battle, because the only way to get rid of that link is for one of those two units to die. When that unit's die, the other one is still going to have the mark, so the next time you apply the same mark to somebody else, it's going to relink them. The only restriction is that obviously you can only have one link active at a time, but if it breaks, you can re-establish it. The second skill is called Rain, and in human form, it's going to apply basically like a regen to one of your units. It gives them a buff that's going to heal them automatically every time they move. That's it. When he transforms into Hades though, this thing becomes Reflect. And what it does is exchange Alone's life for the enemies. If the enemy is full and Alone is low, we're gonna exchange them, and we're gonna be full and they're gonna be low. Additionally, after we use it, there's a chance that Alone gets an extra turn, and that chance goes to 100% on skill level 5, so it's guaranteed. We're going to exchange life with somebody, and then we're gonna get to move again. And we have a big attack we're gonna look at now that costs only 1 energy. So again, it's insane. You can instantly bring somebody down and then execute them, or you can leave them low and then execute with Athena so they can never come back. Lastly, he's also gonna get a speed buff every time he uses this thing. So if you're in a battle, it's advisable to always open up with this thing. Even if you're not going to exchange life, let's say you're full and everybody's full, you're still going to want to use it because you're going to get a speed buff, you're also going to place the shared life mark on that unit, and you're going to get an extra turn. There's absolutely no reason to not use it because it also costs 0 energy. Or well, almost no reason. There would be one, which is if you can kill somebody right away. The third skill is called Radiance, and in human form, it's a simple damage reduction for Alone, so he's a little bit harder to eliminate, but when he transforms, it becomes Judgment. With This thing alone is going to sacrifice a really big chunk of his own HP, 35%, to deal massive damage, but that HP is going to be replaced by a shield, so it's not like you're basically left dying. You're still protected, it's just that now you don't have HP, you have shield. Why does that matter? Because his damage is based on his HP, so the more you use this skill and the lower you get, if you then don't exchange and get your HP back, then your damage is going to be reduced. You simply don't have the HP to sacrifice anymore. And there's another damage bonus that happens when his HP drops below certain thresholds. On skill level 1, anytime you're below 50% HP, you're gonna get 200% of that HP lost as damage, extra damage, as if the damage from this thing wasn't enough. But on skill level 5, you just have to be below 80% and you're gonna get 280% of the HP lost as multiplier. This thing can one-shot almost anything in the game except for maybe like a Shiryu with his shield activated. Other than that, I've seen it do 150,000, 200,000 damage in one shot. It's crazy. And if you have the enemies linked, then it's gonna apply it to 2 units. But that's it, right? It's pretty simple. He has an individual attack, then he can link units, he can exchange HP, he has a massive nuke, he gets extra turns, he gets a speed up, he gets extra turns if he kills. It sounds like a lot for such a short description of his abilities, right? He does so much without needing a wall of text. But when it comes time to skill him up, then you're probably gonna suffer. I suffered. I had been saving for him for a while, and now I'm completely broke as far as tomes go. He is an EX unit, so he's gonna require twice the amount of tomes to skill up. I took him to 1555, and I have zero regrets. I haven't enjoyed playing with a unit this much in probably like a year. I'm not sure when Thanatos came out, but since that time. Now, a basic alone, if you want to get started, is gonna have skill level 1 for the first one. This is one we're not gonna level up even for the super alone. The second one would go to 3 so that we improve that chance of getting the extra turn and a little bit more speed buff. The third one would stay at 1 because with this one, the only thing that increases is the multipliers of damage. The activation rate of the skill stays the same. I mean, it's always gonna do what it's supposed to do, it's just not gonna hit as hard. For these type of skills on a basic unit, we always recommend 1 because all you're getting is more damage, but it's always gonna work. With the fourth one is where it gets tricky, because if you noticed, when he's a human, his abilities are pretty crappy. You need to transform and you need to do it as fast as possible. If you don't get this skill to level 5, there's gonna be very few teams in the game that can get you to transform turn 1, which is really your objective. You could leave it at 4 and leave it to luck to get between 3 and 5, but I would definitely recommend that if you plan on using him and making him one of your main units, take this to 5 right away. That basic alone, 1315, is going to require 26 tomes. The next evolution would still have skill 1 on level 1. The second one now we would take to level 5 to get this 100% chance to get an extra turn, because if you're exchanging to leave somebody low and you want to finish them off, if that 10% doesn't happen, there goes your whole strategy. The third one, because it is only multipliers, we're going to leave at 1 again, and this one we already had at 5. This gives you a total for a good alone of 40 tomes. The super alone, which is kind of what you're seeing on screen right now, is going to require a lot more. We are still going to leave this at 1, this one's going to go to 5, the third one is going to go to 5 as well, because this gives us the maximum multipliers. The damage is outrageous, and if you have this thing at 5, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to kill anything. The last one was already at 5 as well, so that gives us a total of 60 tomes. Over on the 8 cents, this is an EX unit that you're gonna use in PvP, so you're gonna open everything. But the main focus with him is that he stays alive, and his multipliers are based on HP as well. So I would personally start with Beta, with HP and status resistance, then Delta with HP and resistance to both types of damage, followed by Alpha with Cosmo Attack and Speed, which is not really that important on him, and lastly Cosmo Attack and P-Crit resistance with Gamma. Over on his Cosmo, even though this is the demonstration you're gonna see today, this is not the Cosmo you want to equip. The Cosmo you want to equip, I have shared with Saga right now, because Saga is a unit that I only use every now and then for dungeons, so there's no reason to build a whole nother set of Cosmo. In the red, we're gonna use Dragon's Chant. It's by far the best Cosmic type attacker Cosmo right now. That defense pierce is enormous. It does a lot more than the Cosmo damage, because units have gotten so tanky, they have so much defense that if we can ignore part of that defense, the damage goes up. On the yellow, the best options continue to be Spirit Print and the Cross. Why? Because defense, although we can get a lot of it over here with Morning Glory, there's so much defense pierce that resistance to the direct damage is a lot better than defense. Over on the blue, it's the same story. We have Nether with Cosmic Defense Pierce, also some resistance and HP to make him tankier. And there's really no other option that we can compare. I could tell you that Hummingbird is a good second choice, but really guys, if you have one good set of Nether, one good set of Dragon, put it on him. Now over on the Legendary, there are a few variants, but I have personally personally chosen to go with Resurrection Tree. And there's a very good reason for that, which is the HP exchange. If he is about to get killed and this thing procs, he's gonna get a speed buff that's gonna allow him pretty much to move right away. And now he's at 1 HP, which he can exchange with any enemy unit and then finish them off. It works amazingly. There are other options that improve, let's say, your direct damage right out of the gate. You could go with Vulcan Chain and go with a Sword Strike on the first round. You're gonna get that 40% additional attack, but as the fight goes on and the enemies lose HP, I feel it becomes a little bit less effective. This thing has already saved me fights, and it's already saved Jameer fights. So Resurrection Tree, although I'm not a huge fan of Resurrection or Dragon Teeth, this thing will work really, really well. Now, in substats, we're gonna be looking for Cosmic Attack, HP. Speed is not huge on him. He's supposed to move at the end of the round, especially in the first one, so that he can transform. And he also gives himself a speed buff every time he exchanges life. We're going to be looking then for Cosmic Attack, Cosmic Damage, and as much HP as possible. Over on teams, and I apologize, I realize I just stayed up there for the whole Cosmo explanation, but on teams, his best friends are going to be unit that move twice in the first round to make sure that he transforms when his turn comes. You really don't want to wait until like the end of turn 2 to start doing stuff with him. So think everybody that can do double turns. Obviously, the most brainless option is going to be Artemis Brilliance. Throw in this girl with a bunch of units that do something with basics, and for sure your Alone is going to be transformed. But if you don't like that type of gross lineup, you can go for something a little bit more strategic. You could go with Athena, who moves twice. You could go with Hypnos, who moves twice. You could protect him with Shiryu, that moves twice. And that's actually the lineup you're going to see today, because it's a guaranteed transformation on turn 1. It also has a lot of tankiness, a lot of resistance. It complements him really well. Units that have summons, like for example Isaac, though really I don't think anybody's going to bring Isaac just to transform him, because after that happens, then Isaac is completely useless. But I have to say, units with summons will work. Every single movement from a summon will count as a movement for his darkness. A couple units that might be more useful are Poseidon and also Giant, who, or what is this guy's name? Gigant, Cyclops, whatever the heck his name is. He counts for 3 movements, so he's actually pretty good, and people are starting to get him to a decent skill level. A Divine Milo with some speed that moves before Alone can also get a lot of turns in that first round and help him transform, while units that can apply control and even some strong control effects like Divine Yoga are amazing, because once you have the enemies linked, that control is going to apply to both units. Most of controls work. The only ones that don't are going to be the really like super strong forms of control. Cannon's Triangle, Commander Pandora's Summon Thing, Regular Shun's Chain, Ayako's Fly. Those are going to be the primary ones. Basically anything that states in the ability that you can only have one at a time. The ones that did surprise me that actually work are, for example, Hypnos Nightmare. This is an amazing combination because Hypnos also moves twice, so they have a double interaction. Once Alone has 2 enemy units linked, if Hypnos puts Nightmare Seals on one, the other unit is going to get them as well. And when the first unit actually falls into the Nightmare because he moved, the second unit is going to fall into the Nightmare as well, even though it hasn't moved. With these 2 guys, you can spread the Nightmare to, I don't know, 3-4 units? It's crazy. With Shijima as well, his doors actually will apply to both enemy units if they're linked. So will Kane with his Black Hole. So there's a lot of control units and different interactions that we're actually still discovering. Now, as far as his weaknesses, the truth is he doesn't have that many specific ones, but I guess one of them would be the cost to level him up, 60 tomes. He is also vulnerable to control after he's transformed. Before he transforms, if you control him and he fills his bar and transforms, he's gonna get rid of that control. So he's only vulnerable to it after the fact. Artemis can also reset him and send him all the way back to human form. Ophiuchus can break his shield because remember, when he uses a strong attack, he exchanges HP for shield. If Ophiuchus has activated that secret, then he's gonna be very close to death. Lastly, there's Aoe Attacks, because although he does hide himself when he falls below certain HP levels, Aoe Attacks can still hit him. So Radamantis, Divine Milo once he gets to the AoEs, Thanatos with automatic AoEs, I don't know, Arayashiki, anybody that can touch our whole team is going to be strong against him. Because he is a single target attacker, then things like June will also kind of hamper his damage a little bit because it'll be distributed. And before I forget, there is one very strong counter, which is Mew. Remember that Mew can not only target hidden units, but he does extra damage if the enemy is protected by a shield. If Alone is low and he's got a whole bunch of shield on him, Mew can one-shot him almost in every single case. Of course, if Alone moves first, he can exchange with Mew and get rid of him, but if you leave your Alone without protection and there's a Mew on the enemy team, be very careful. And that's it, guys. We're ready for the demonstration, and we're actually going to see a Galactic Duel fight that I was able to record during today's stream. Now, remember, this Alone you're going to see was missing more than half of his Cosmo, and he put in an amazing performance anyway. Triple Condom or Artemis. Alright, we go against triple. Please, Manuel, don't! Okay. Perfect. No bad. No bad. We go with this one. Okay? We go with this. He goes double condom, I go... He goes triple, I go double, plus Hypnos and a low. Let's see if we can do it, okay? This is a turn 1 transformation comp. And hopefully he still has Pablo, because then I counter with my Athena. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, Pablo counter. Perfect. Perfecto el counter a Pablo. Now, his cannon is gonna get to attack, but I should survive anything he throws at me. Okay, hide Shion for the Thanatos mark. He does attack. Alright, we're gonna go attack. Attack with Athena. 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 And I can still hide. Good. No more energy for him. He didn't really need it at this point. We can still hide our Shun. We're gonna hide Shun. Okay, we are going to Nightmare this guy to get some healing. And I am gonna go with healing here on the start because he attacked my Shun. I might switch to damage later. I'm gonna go double on this guy, just so he can't escape the Nightmare. And I have a lot of energy. Why do I have so much energy? Nani desu ka yo? I don't know, but it's good. We're gonna go with the mark on... Who are we gonna go with the mark on? Thanatos. Because we can break the shield before... If he gets shielded, we can break that shield with our Thanatos. Oh, because Athena died. Yes, you are right. Alright, so we're not gonna cover Thanatos here. We're gonna cover alone, because he's gonna get a double turn. When Shiryu transforms here. There we go. Alone transforms. Shiryu protects. We're gonna put this... Now, my Thanatos and my Hypnos are exposed, which is not good. Alright. We are going to go with an exchange on Hashun, just to get the mark on him. And a hit on this guy. So now, even if Pablo doesn't die, they'll be linked. Yeah, now they're sharing stuff. Alright. Now, anything that happens to Pablo is gonna happen to Hashun. Woo. Hi, YouTube. My mom. Hi to my crush. Alright, let's see how we do. We're gonna get some healing. And then Pablo is gonna be in Nightmare too, and he's not a problem anymore. And now, you're gonna see what we're gonna do. He gets the mark, but he doesn't do the end of round attack. What's he gonna do here? He goes for an attack, Hypnos or Thanatos? Thanatos. But my Thanatos is gonna do AoE soon, hopefully, and heal. This guy is dead because of the Nightmare. I'm not gonna do anything here. I'm just going to pew pew this guy. Help break that shield. We go with damage now. And we are going to Nightmare this guy. And we are going to break this shield. Hopefully, no bug. No bug. We're going to AoE. His Thanatos is going to AoE. Shiryu gets upset for some reason. And that Thanatos should die, but we have no Fury. But Shiryu is furious. Shiryu is very angry. Shiryu is very angry, my friends. Shiryu... Okay. Alright, now we're going to protect... I don't care, I'm not going to heal yet. I'm going to protect Thanatos. Because... reasons. Now, we are going to link... Well, I can only do it with this guy. And we kill Hashun. Boom! And this is a big hit on Radamantis too. Look at that! Radamantis is now executable. Oh my god! I love Alone, but he's not executable anymore because of the stupid lifesteal. But Shiryu is very upset. Shiryu continues to be extremely upset about this situation. He goes for Hypnos, which is okay. Because it's very poggers that I can execute. Oh, no, Thanatos! You stupido! Estupido Thanatos. What are you doing, bro? What is Thanatos doing? He always does the same thing to me, dude. He always does the same thing. Oh, God damn it. And this is his first life, so he's gonna get to attack on... We didn't take his first life? Oh, because we don't have enough, life, so we don't sacrifice as much. No, but we can kill here, we can kill. Boom, and then the second one kills, and then I'm gonna heal, just in case. Because Athena can execute this cannon, maybe. Thanatos is dead. Oh, shoot! Athena's dead too. Oh, it's gonna be closer than anticipated. He gets it on Shiryu. Shiryu's not gonna like that. He goes boom, 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 boom. Oh my god. What do we do here? Can we break this up? Oh, I can heal to full. I can heal to full with Shion's Ghost. Watch this. It's so stupid. This is so broken. Watch. Now I'm fully healed. But I don't want to hit this shield too hard. There's no way we die, right? There's no way we die. What happens if... Wait. What happens if... No, let's... What happens if I do this? Does it share the damage? No, right? It's protected by the shield. Yeah, it's all zeros. God damn it. Is this ghost gonna die this round? He is. He should die this round. Hopefully he dies this round. Come on, dude. It's enough. Enough of your shenanigans. Yes, he dies. Cannon has one more life. I swear, if we lose this to Cannon, I quit. No, there's no way. We got tons of shield. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Finish him! GG. GG. It was closer than expected. That's gonna be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's useful to decide if you want to build them or not. I know we get a lot of spoilers from China with different units that are coming up, but if you have the resources to pull him and build him now, I advise that you do so, because although he may come back at a later date in another banner, his training event is not. So if you don't level him up now and you decide to level him up later, you're gonna miss out on a whole bunch of rewards. In my opinion, he's completely worth it. I'm gonna say goodbye for today, so if you haven't already, please remember to hit like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye!